this is our second video over saving money. Our second half, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we did the 10 to number 6 the first go around. Now it's the top 5 lifestyle changes. It's definitely a lifestyle change.
Now number 5, we made mention of using the dryer for heat. Unhooking the exhaust line from going outside, stopping up the hole going outside, and using the heat in the wintertime from the dryer. They actually make a box, if you can find it at Lowe's and Home Depot, or order it online, that has a lever that you swap it. You don't have to unhook the hose. Once you install this in the line, you can just switch it. We don't have one. The
thing to remember though is it will put moist heat into the house because you are drying wet clothes.
If you've already got dry heat, it works good, and it adds moisture to the house. If you've got gas heat and you already got a humidity problem, it's going to make it a lot worse. Your windows will actually sweat. You could wash the windows from the water running off the windows. You get the humidity too high. Missouri Wind and Solar had a good video, if you go to their page on YouTube, about pulling air out of your attic for your dryer and blowing it outside instead of pulling air out of your house. Because when your dryer pulls air out of your house and blows it outside, it's having to suck it in from all the cracks and crevices and around your windows and doors and things that leak. They said if you run it upstairs through a vent pipe, which they give you the instructions how, it would pull outside air from in the attic and blow it back outside, which wouldn't create a vacuum in your house. I thought that was pretty good. It keeps it from creating a vacuum and sucking cold air in the wintertime, sucking hot air in the winter, in the summertime. It keeps you from creating a vacuum in your house. The attic won't change that much, but it will create hotter air in the summertime for your dryer, which means the heater would kick on less, which would make the electric bill a little less. Wintertime, it probably wouldn't help much other than the fact that it won't suck cold air in around your doors and windows unless your house is really tight. It has to have air from somewhere, so it's pulling air from somewhere. If you're blowing it outside, it has to get air in. So outside air has to come back in somewhere. It's something to think about. Let's go to number 4. It's your fun one. It's raising the windows.
Yes. Raising the windows, letting the outside air inside. Which, I mean, if it's cooler outside than it is inside in the summertime, raise the windows. Let the cool air come in the house.
Unless you're in a high crime area or got issues where you live. It's fairly safe where we live. We live in a small community. It's called a city, but it's still really small. I don't know why they call it a city. It has no traffic lights, no four-way stops, just a straight shot through, but it's the great city.
Well,
but there's no crime really here, and our neighbors are good, and we watch for each other.
And if you're concerned about it, you can always, like when I'm here by myself sometimes, I get a little nervous some. I rig up the windows where they don't come up anymore. I've used a stick and just kind of jammed it in there where it doesn't matter, you're not going to push that window up any higher because it's just blocked. It's blocked off. Like our daughter's window, they're made that way. They got little locks on them, and it'll only raise so far unless you push the latch in and make them raise higher. So there's ways of fixing your windows where they aren't easily open from the outside where you're more comfortable. Like I said, sometimes I have a little short stick that I will put in the top of the window just to make myself feel more comfortable being here, especially if I'm home by myself.
Locks are only generally made to keep the honest out anyway. If somebody wants in, they're going to get in.
True.
They'll find a way. It's just how bad they want in.
That's when a good dog is handy too.
Our German Shepherd serves that purpose pretty well.
Yeah.
Nobody likes being around him.
Well, he sounds so mean, and he's so sweet. Number 3, though. That, I think, is probably going to be the most useful and helpful. It's because...
Remember in the summertime, we cook outside.
And in the
It's
wintertime, you're paying for the heat anyways. Heat the house with the stove. 2 birds, 1 stone. You get something good and the house gets heated. But now in the summertime,
You need to use the gas cooker outside, the grill, the smoker, the fish cooker, whatever you got. Keep the heat out. We've been canning this week, and we found out what heat really is like in the house.
oh yeah,
We've canned for 4 days.
yeah,
There's
We've
no way
cooked.
the air conditioner can
literally.
overcome it. With 2 big boiling cans of water on the stove all the time. Going in and out the doors, getting the stuff out of the garden. Yeah, it needs to be a wintertime job.
But you know, in the summertime, that's when the crock pot comes in handy. You can do crock pot meals, those air dryers and stuff,
Air fryers,
air fryers.
the
You're,
pizza cooker that sits on the bar.
you're going to pay for the electricity to cool the house if you turn the stove on. You might as well
Might as well cook with it.
cook with it. So, I mean, that's where you're kind of balancing yourself out a little bit.
I
But,
like the pizza cooker, it does a good job. Crock pot, it's always good.
and there's cookbooks dedicated solely to crock pot cooking. They're pretty cool.
Wintertime you can use the stove though. We got a gas stove, it heats the house even in wintertime. But it feels good in the wintertime to come into a good hot meal. The house is warm. You can smell it cooking. I don't know, it's just different, I guess.
I like to slow cook in the oven and do more baking and stuff in the wintertime. Because you can just sit in there and you smell it cooking, your mouth starts watering.
The hardest one's when I cook jerky in the oven at night. I cook it all night long while we try to sleep.
You know,
That
girl,
baked jerky is very good.
there was a time when you did cook all night long. You know, people don't really do that a lot anymore. I remember a few nights helping Grandma cook turkey.
We cooked the turkey at night.
Cook the turkey at
Our
night.
parents and grandparents did, we was little.
No, I'm talking about your grandma. For one of the first couple of Thanksgivings we helped her with,
She was still
she
cooking.
still cooked the turkey all night. We helped her watch that sucker, woo, getting up and making sure it didn't dry out.
I always had the job of putting it in the oven and taking it out. I usually went in on the cooking part. I was usually on the loading and unloading.
Yeah,
Because she thought we had to have 20 pounds of bird for 15 people.
but you know, it kept her house warm and it made a good family dinner.
It didn't keep the house warm. It kept the house hot. Had to go outside, fan the door and cool off.
That's kind of like it was at my
Or
grandmother's
take your
house.
breath and go back in.
You open the doors to all the other rooms just to let the heat out of that one room that you're cooking. Which brings us to number 2, which is called spot cooling and heating. Choose the rooms you're using and how comfortable you want to be in those rooms.
We use the 110 window units. We've got one in the bedroom, we've got one in the living room. During the day, when we decide to turn it on, we turn on the one in the living room. At night, before we go to bed, we open the door and turn the one in the bedroom. The house doesn't get really cool that way, but we've learned, and we said earlier in the last video, we've learned to raise the temperature in the house. It doesn't have to be 70 degrees. We can sleep just fine at 75. We like it at 72, but
I like it cooler at night when I'm sleeping. I can handle 80. It even got sometimes in the mid-90s in here this week cooking. I could handle that. But now when I'm trying to sleep, I want it between 72, 73 degrees in the bedroom. I like to sleep and cool. I don't know. It's just the comfort of cuddling under the blanket. Or at least a sheet and a little something over you. That's comfort to me. And so I have to have a cool room. Because if I can't throw the covers over me because it's too hot,
it's still getting around 70 at night here. It's getting to change. But, so I get up early in the morning. I get up sometime or another every night. I get up and I raise the windows in the house. When we get up in the morning, the house is closer to the temperature outside. Sometimes it's a little warmer. It helps cool it off, pull the heat out of the house while we're sleeping. And we can close them off during the day after it gets warm outside and try not to let the house get hot before we close the windows. And then run air conditioning in one room or another. Same way the heat. We've got a wood pellet stove this year. We bought it last year. We got it this year too, but we heat the whole house with it because it works better to circulate the air around the house.
little sucker
That
gets
little sucker
hot.
gets very hot.
It heats this house on one of the lowest settings that you can set it on that will still make it run sufficiently. It heats the whole house. So we don't have to spot heat too much because it does a really good job of heating.
I was thinking about my father. He has central. He has heat in the bed in the basement of his house. He sleeps upstairs, but he'll run a 110 plug-in ceramic heater in his bedroom. He'll close the door, turn on the ceramic heater. He turns down the heat at night in his house. That little ceramic heater in his newer house will actually stay warm in the bedroom. It'll keep him warm. He said it don't really affect his electric bill that bad. He can't really tell it's there because he's saving by not heating the rest of the house. He likes for it to be warm when he sleeps at night in winter time. Being older, I'm sure it does help. But the heat's right there at his feet. But you can spot heat and spot cool. We used to do it before we got the pellet stove. We used gas heat. We kind of shut off windows or shut off doors and kind of diverted the heat one way or the other. Depending on who was here and how many was staying overnight. Central unit, it'd be harder to shut off very much. You could shut off one or two vents and not pressurize the system too much.
And
you could have a small heater in more than one room, and you could swap heaters too. That's what we used to do with the gas. We had one in the bedroom, we had one in here in the living room. We could heat the bedroom if we didn't want to heat nothing else. Cool weather, it ain't that bad. Really cold, we had to turn them both on.
And the air conditioning, you can, in a central unit cooling a house, you can get a little 110 for your room. Especially if it's just, there's only a couple of you there. Cool those two rooms off. You get a nice little window unit to cool the two rooms off. It makes it easier.
This is stuff we've tried, stuff we've seen that works here. It might not work at everybody else's house. But you got to figure out what works and what don't. We like to have a little more of that money in our pocket than we like giving it to the electric company or the water or gas company, or we kind of like to have a little extra cash. We can deal with a few more degrees one way or the other.
It comes back to what are you willing to adjust, which comes to number one, adjusting the source of your energy. MLEC is good, but there's other, that's our electric company. They're wonderful. They charge you. TVA, they charge you. There's an alternatives though.
We have solar. We're 50 to 60% solar. Depending on what you do. We don't run the dryer on it. We have a solar dryer if you watch our video. We've actually built one to work on solar. We do run our air conditioner with it some. We run the lights and fans and different things in the house. No, it's not tied in with the electric company. It's two separate boxes. We've got it all separated. The electric company won't have any problems with it. Nobody gets hurt. We can completely shut it off from inside the house. We can swap back to the electric company anytime. But it's really saved money, and we're paying it off every year by what we're saving. We didn't go deep, and we went, what, $3,500?
Maybe.
Which we saved over $600 last year in electricity, and we figure we'll do it again this year. So 6 years it'll be paid off, plus some. That's not a bad deal. Of course, that's wind power ain't. They say it's not feasible around here. I know somebody that has a little wind power. They use it for, I guess you can say, backup on solar. It was in the house. It was down in the Amish community. It was all gas. Gas lights, gas appliances, gas everything. Even the gas refrigerator.
Is it propane?
It was propane. It was a neat house. I've been to a house just a few miles from here that runs on a generator. They have a military style diesel generator. He can start it from inside the house. It runs everything he wants to run in the house. And all he pays for is diesel. But he's got a nice log home, indoor, in-ground swimming pool, central heat and air, everything, all the amenities anybody would ever want. When he flips the switch, it comes on. When he goes to bed at night, he turns the switch off. Anytime he's going to be gone for a while, he cuts it off. I'm not sure how he works the refrigerator on that, but I'm sure he's got some kind of system worked out to keep his food. There's several different ways you can do things. There's a lot of ways you can save money. I'm sure y'all have thought of a lot more ways than we have. And I hope you come up with ideas. You'll comment or share them with us. We'd like to know more ways. There's a lot of things we do that did work, and there's a lot of things we did that didn't work. These were 10 we thought of that I think really made a difference in our bills.
It's the things that we have really been working on the last few years to adjust. The key to it all, to make it work, is your willingness to adjust how you live and constantly asking yourself, do I really need this? Or is this something I just want?
And unity between everybody at the house.
True.
If one's going to do it and the rest of them don't, it's not going to work.
No.
Everybody's got to agree to do this. That way you can make changes and they stay changes. Yeah, I hope this helped. I hope somebody gets something good out of it. If you got any comments or questions or want to say anything, comment back. Subscribe to our channel. Share it with others. Hit the like button. God bless.